Hi guys, my name is Danush. I play for Kraken FC. I generally play on the left wing or the right wing, and my favorite club is Manchester United. Unfortunately, and my favorite players happen to be Ronaldo, Messi, and Neymar maybe. And how I got started with football would be honestly, I used to play basketball for the longest time. I think up until like third or fourth grade, I used to play basketball a lot. And then actually, one of our teammates started playing football with me because he used to live right next to my house. His name was Ashwin. So like as kids, we used to go to this one mud ground near our house and like just try to play there. But unfortunately, everybody around us was playing cricket and like we used to put on our football boots and go there. But it was quite annoying because every time we got so excited thinking we'd finally play football that day, but we never ended up playing and like that was pretty frustrating. But eventually, like people got into football more and I started playing with other groups and I think the first 11 aside experience I had was at this club called Crescent FC. We played in the C division, and that did not go well though. But it was still a good experience. We played like 3 games. We lost two and won one. And after that, I started playing with this group called First Draft, which is where I met Arjun, our captain, and also Arun. So they had the idea to come together as a group and form Krakens, and it honestly went really well. I did not expect to have such a good team to play with, and every one of the boys has honestly performed so well. And I never honestly expected to end up in second place and taking Majaz all the way to penalties on the semi-finals. It really sucks that I couldn't be there at the semi-finals. That was because of my exams, but honestly, it was a great experience. Okay, so talking about my performances, so I generally play left wing or right wing, and luckily, competition for places in this team is really, really good. So I was a super sub this season. That was my role, and we needed fresh legs every game because the game went on for 60 minutes, and not all of us are fit enough to play for that long. And talking about where I feel like I can improve, I would say my fitness, especially because I started noticing in the practice games that I wasn't able to sustain my performance throughout the 60 minutes or 90 minutes, and I feel like that's something that I have to work on and maybe play more confident and ask for the ball more because once I start getting tired, I tend to like ghost in games, and maybe that's some part of my game that I can improve. When we first started, we had a core group of I think we were about 11 players to 15 players. So I remember this one game in particular that we played against a team, and we just were not good in that team. So talking about the transition from there, because I've been a part of the team since then, I feel like we've had big improvements with players like Melu and Subodh, and everybody joined us. And honestly, like I never expected us to be this good. So that transition was really, really fun to watch, and it was nice to be a part of. So talking about my NBL experience, honestly, it was great. So how we started prepping for this was since we're all used to playing seven aside and eight aside, it was a new experience playing 11 aside, and not all of us were used to it. So Ashish, Arjun, and all, and Nikhil started organizing 11 side games against other teams, and those games were really, really fun. I really enjoyed myself, and I feel like that was a good build up to when the league would start. And every weekday, I think on Wednesdays, we would have games against other teams so that we can prep for the weekend games in the league. And talking about my favorite game in NBL, I would say it's hard to pick between the game against Greyhounds and the game initially against Majaz, because I remember the first game against Majaz, like we did not know. I think that's when we realized just how good we were, because Majaz was a really good team, and nobody expected us to draw 0-0 and keep a clean sheet. But that game was really good, and I think that's where the foundations were laid for a really good season after the win against Abhayam, of course. And even the game against Greyhounds, I think like we dominated that game, and we made up for all the errors we made in the Intermajestic game where we should have won by a lot, but we didn't, unfortunately. And talking about my favorite players this season, I would have to say Ibrahim, obviously, and Melu was also really good, and our defenders, Ozzy, Shrikant and Subodh was also really good. And especially Arvind, like saving everything that came his way, he was like damn good. So talking about that, I would have to say, looking at how we progressed, initially people were laughing at us, thinking we're not that good, and we really showed them their place because I think after the Majaz game, they were all saying we got lucky, and then it happened again and again, and again, and eventually they realized like we're not getting lucky and we're actually that good, and teams started taking us seriously, and they started preparing, and we took all the teams all the way, I would say, and in the future, I would say after playing for NBL, we'd like to play in one of the BDFA leagues and make it an official club. So there are steps in place for that, and I hope to see that happen soon. And shout outs, I would like to give shout outs to obviously my captain Arjun and all the people who brought this team together, like Nikhil, Ashish, Arun, and the entire team actually, because we all stuck together throughout the seasons. We had a couple of fights on the field, and we managed to overcome them. And I never seen the team spirit wavering, and I would really like to appreciate that. So that's it for you. So obviously, there were a lot of things happening in the background that not a lot of people got to see, and one of them were the coaching staff. So I think Sonu and Ashish did a great job with all the strategies and tactics for each game. They picked like near perfect starting 11s for each game, and the training and the practice we had leading up to matches was also great. And Sonu was constantly giving everybody pointers as to how they can improve their game and what they should be doing better, and what they did wrong in the previous games, and also what they can do better in the future games. And I thought that was really helpful. And I'd like to give a shout out to my parents for supporting me through this journey. And also, I would like to give out a shout out to Nikhil, who was in charge of PR. I think he did a brilliant job coming out with all these graphics and videos and vlogs of the entire journey. And I hope to see more and be a part of this journey. Go Kraken! Hello, hello, testing. I hope I'm audible. Yeah, yeah. Good, good. What else was I supposed to talk about?